With one of the sharpest minds in any universe, Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic, has built a legacy that echoes across the multiverse. In most universes, he's one of Marvel's greatest minds, leading the Fantastic Four through uncharted dimensions and battling some of the cosmos's most fearsome villains. But in the Ultimate Universe, Reed Richards' limitless intellect and ambition took a much darker turn. He became something much more terrifying than any villain he ever faced, a true multiversal threat known as the Maker. Reed Richards' journey into darkness started long before he became the Maker. It all began in Ultimate Fantastic Four, #1, where Reed was introduced as a young prodigy, a socially awkward genius struggling to fit in. Even in his early teens, Reed was on the verge of scientific breakthroughs that other scientists could only dream of. He built a device for a school science fair that managed to teleport a toy car into another dimension called the Negative Zone. This invention caught the attention of the Baxter Building, a research facility that recruited only the most promising young minds. At the Baxter Building, Reed met Sue and Johnny Storm, his future teammates, and Ben Grimm, his best friend. There was also another young prodigy who would become a major player in Reed's future, Victor Van Dam. Their fateful encounter set the stage for a partnership that would soon result in one of the Ultimate Universe's defining moments. After years of studying together, these brilliant young scientists embarked on an experiment that would send biological matter into the mysterious end zone. But things didn't go as planned. The experiment went catastrophically wrong, transforming Reed into Mr. Fantastic and bestowing his friends with extraordinary abilities. In the aftermath, Reed became the leader of the Ultimate Fantastic Four. He embraced the role of a superhero, protecting the world alongside his friends and pushing the boundaries of science. Reed's adventures included battling his former friend, Victor, now Dr. Doom, and exploring the End Zone's nightmarish expanse. For a time, Reed seemed like the ideal hero, despite his age and inexperience. But Reed's path took a dark turn after the events of Ultimatum. This was an event across the entire Ultimate Comics line that had devastating effects on their world. Following the deaths of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, Magneto tries to end the world by disrupting the magnetic field of the Earth. This causes massive, widespread destruction, such as a tsunami that nearly destroys New York and takes the life of Franklin Storm, father of Sue and Johnny Storm. The tragedy shattered Reed's life. After the events of Ultimatum, Reed is completely disillusioned. This is only exacerbated due to Reed's inability to arrest Dr. Doom due to his diplomatic immunity. His proposal to Sue Storm was rejected in the wake of her father's death, and the Fantastic Four disbanded. This was the moment when Reed's worldview began to change. His optimism and sense of duty crumbled, replaced by a growing sense of resentment and detachment. With his team gone, Reed isolated himself and started to embrace a more sinister ideology. After this, Reed moved back in with his parents, unsure what to do with his life after Sue's rejection. 6 months after moving back in, Reed's family home blew up and he was presumed dead. However, Reed was not dead. He faked his own death, killing his parents in the process. Freed from the constraints of morality, Reed began stealing advanced technology and genetic material to construct his vision of a perfect world, a world that only he could create. His old allies became his enemies. He attacked Sue, and in a climactic battle, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, burned Reed's face with his hottest flames, disfiguring the right side of Reed's face. After the confrontation, it was believed that Reed was dead once more, after falling into an unstable portal. Instead, Reed was trapped inside the Negative Zone, planning his next move. Feeling that he no longer liked the world he belonged to, Reed sought to change it for what he believed was the better. After a period of exile in the Negative Zone, Reed resurfaced under a new identity, the Maker. No longer the hero he once was, the Maker embraced his monstrous side. He began using his elastic powers to stretch and expand his brain, giving rise to his unique, elongated helmet. He was no longer bound by the ethical considerations of his former self. Reed Richards was gone. In his place stood a being whose only goal was to remake the world in his own image. With his new identity came new creations. The Maker spent 1,000 years in the distant future, creating a race of genetically engineered superhumans called the Children of Tomorrow to fight the Ultimates. These genetically perfect beings lived inside the dome, a structure where time moved differently, allowing them to evolve at an accelerated rate. The Maker unleashed his children upon the world, annihilating the Asgardians and declaring war on anyone who opposed his vision. Reed Richards had become one of the Ultimate Universe's greatest threats, and his ambitions continued to grow. The Maker's ambitions led him into direct conflict with the Ultimates, the Ultimate Universe's Avengers. Despite suffering setbacks, he was not defeated. His mind was always a step ahead, working behind the scenes to manipulate events. But the Maker's greatest test came when the Marvel Universe's Galactus arrived to devour the Ultimate Universe. In a rare moment of apparent redemption, the Maker joined forces with the Ultimates and other heroes to save their world. Using the knowledge he had stolen from the Marvel Universe's Mr. Fantastic, Reed sent Galactus into the negative zone, sparing his universe. But this act of heroism was a ploy, a way for the Maker to solidify his plans. Nick Fury deemed the Maker trustworthy enough to assist in coming up with countermeasures to doomsday scenarios. But when the entire Ultimate Universe was threatened, the Maker sided with the villainous Cabal of Earth 616 that included Thanos and Namor. Using stolen designs, he built a cosmic life raft to escape the collapse of the multiverse. When the Cabal arrived on Battleworld, the Maker found himself face-to-face with the Marvel Universe's Mr. Fantastic. Instead of joining forces, the two Reeds clashed. When they confronted the Molecule Man, the source of Doom's power, the Maker made a critical mistake. He betrayed Mr. Fantastic, attempting to seize the power for himself. In response, the Molecule Man sliced the Maker into pieces, scattering him across the newly created multiverse. With the multiverse reborn, the Molecule Man embedded a piece of the Maker's consciousness into each new reality. This meant that every universe had its own version of the Maker, each one working in unison toward a single purpose, no matter how many times he was captured or killed. The Maker's reappearance in the Marvel Universe saw him focus on new, even more disturbing experiments. He forms a terrorist organization known as Whisper, and runs afoul of the new Avengers, Venom, and Spider-Gwen. He turned his attention to the Venom symbiote, hoping to unlock its potential for multiversal travel. After studying Venom's host, Eddie Brock, and even bonding with a synthetic version of the Ultimate Universe's Venom, the Maker prepared to execute his master plan, Project Oversight. In a chaotic confrontation with Venom and MacGargan, the Maker was sucked through a destabilized portal. To his shock and delight, he emerged in a familiar yet broken world, the Ultimate Universe. New York was in ruins and the heroes were gone. In the Ultimate Invasion 2023 storyline, Reed sees this as the perfect canvas to restart his work. He does actually manage to recreate the Ultimate Universe, but with a few caveats. Wanting complete control over this new universe, the Maker edits a few aspects of character histories to remove this universe's heroes. Instead of Matt Murdock being in an accident and becoming Daredevil, the accident never happens, and Matt becomes a priest. Likewise, this ultimate version of Spider-Man is never bitten by a radioactive spider and simply becomes a family man. He also imprisons that world's Reed Richards. This Reed, in a wild twist, becomes his universe's version of Dr. Doom. Teaming up with Howard Stark's Iron Man, they work together to trap the Maker in his futuristic base, known as the City, where time flows differently than in the outside world. With the Maker trapped for 2 years, Dr. Doom and Tony Stark's Iron Lad begin gathering the new Ultimate Universe's heroes to fight back. With the knowledge the Maker has accumulated and the darkness that's consumed him, he's poised to become a multiversal god, controlling every aspect of a universe that he alone has the power to mold. Once a hero, now a villain of unimaginable scale, the Maker is the ultimate example of how power and intellect, unrestrained by conscience, can become the greatest threat to existence. He's not just a genius, he's a cosmic horror, a being who will stop at nothing to bend. No matter how many times the heroes try to defeat him, the Maker always comes back. And that's why he stands as one of Marvel's ultimate villains. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into Marvel's most complex characters. Let us know in the comments which villain story you want to see next.